So Amazon has just launched a fresh new version of the Fire TV Cube, and it's the first time it's updated its big black media streaming box in quite some time. In fact, the previous model came out in 2019 before any of us had a clue what a COVID or a Liz Truss was. Christ, those were good times. This new Fire TV Cube for 2023 is a bit more expensive than the old one, with a price tag of 133 quid. However, you do at least get a performance boost and smarter Wi-Fi connectivity for streaming all of those lovely telly shows, once again with full voice support courtesy of the lovely Alexa. And yes, I will try and bleep every single time I say Alexa, so I'm not accidentally setting off all of your smart home speakers and driving you mental. But anyway, let's politely but firmly yank the Amazon Fire TV Cube out of its box, get it all set up and test out some of those main features. And for more on the latest and greatest tech, please do subscribe and ding that notifications bell. Cheers! So first up, let's see what you actually get inside of that box. Well, unless I'm very much mistaken, this is the Fire TV Cube. Inside of here, you've got the power adapter. Cable's about 1 meter long, I would estimate, so you can't have it too far away from the mains. And in here, you've also got a quick start guide and another wee box. And inside of this box is Sweet FA. Excellent. So that just leaves, buried away at the bottom of the main box, a remote control and a pair of AAA batteries to go inside of it. Amazon owned brand, naturally. So yeah, there's no HDMI cables and no Ethernet cables included, which seems a bit cheeky, especially as the price has actually gone up for this model. So the design of the fresh new Fire TV Cube, unsurprisingly, hasn't really changed up very much at all. It's still very cubey. You've got this neat little mesh finish, almost like a smart speaker, stretching all the way around the edges with some space around back for ports. Decent little selection of connections around back. You've got HDMI in and out, you've got a power port, you've got an IR extender, the USB port for powering another peripheral, and then the Ethernet connection too. Up top you do actually get a small selection of physical controls here on the Amazon Fire TV Cube, but the majority of your interactions with this thing will be done via the remote control or just by yelling at it. And the only other bit of design that's worth knowing is the rubbery foot on the bottom here, which will just help prevent the Fire TV from going flying off your TV stand if you accidentally twat it. And if you happen to like nature and plants and stuff like that, well, good news, the Fire TV Cube is constructed from 30% recycled plastics and 100% recycled aluminium. Nice. All right, so let's get the batteries in this remote control and then get the Fire TV Cube all set up and ready for action. Now, setup is quick and simple, so easy in fact that even a Prime Minister could do it. To get connected, you can either plug your Fire TV Cube directly into your router using an Ethernet cable. Ethernet cables sold separately. Or you can just jump straight onto your home Wi-Fi with support in this latest model of Fire TV Cube for Wi-Fi 6E. Just tell the Fire TV what language you speak, sign into your Amazon account, and then hang about ages for the obligatory software update and you're good to go. Now I've got to say, I'm not super wild over Amazon's Fire UI. For one, when you scroll down to recently watched, this only ever seems to show stuff that you've streamed from Amazon's own Prime Video service, not from Netflix or Disney Plus or anything else. I'm also yet to find a way of rearranging these little app shortcuts up here. They just seem to be populated by default. And the My Stuff section seems to be just everything that you've watched listed, again on Prime Video, not on other streaming services. And if you scroll on down through the UI, you're immediately slapped in the face with sponsored content as well that isn't tailored in any way to suit your needs. For instance, I don't have a BT Sport subscription, never watch anything on ITV Hub. You keep on scrolling down, you'll see quite a few of these popping up. But to be fair, you tend to get that on quite a lot of streaming devices anyway. The good news is that Amazon's App Store seems to be pretty well stocked. You've got all the standard stuff you'd expect, the likes of Netflix, iPlayer, Disney Plus, YouTube. And I was really pleased to see the likes of Crunchyroll and Curzon on here, which you can't get on the likes of Sky Glass and several other smart TVs. And you'll find loads of other apps on here, including the likes of fitness stuffs, likes of Peloton, Les Mills, for instance. If you scroll across to news, plenty of news apps if you want to stay in touch with the world. Personally, I prefer the ostrich head in the sand approach. Unlike the previous Amazon Fire TV Cube, this 2022 model has 16 gigabytes of internal storage, which may not sound like very much at all, but it's plenty for all the apps that you could possibly need. And running the show on the Fire TV Cube is an octa-core AM Logic processor. I found the performance has been perfectly smooth the entire time, and no worries there, no slowdown that I've noticed. Now, Amazon's remote control for the Fire TV Cube is rather dinky and it's pretty slippery as well. I have fumbled and dropped this thing on more than one occasion, and that was before I'd had a skinful. but it is also rather comprehensive as well. It can effectively replace your TV remote for most occasions. You've got everything on there that you'll need to navigate the Fire TV UI. You can also manipulate your TV's volume as well, providing you've got a supported TV. You've got a mute button on there, you can fast access the settings. One of my few complaints is that the home button and the pause play button are right next to each other, and a couple of times when I've had to rush to the front door, for instance, I've accidentally exited an app instead of pausing what I was watching. And down below you've got the usual app shortcut buttons, which includes Disney Plus and Netflix on top of Amazon's own Prime Video and music services. It is a shame you can't customize these to fit your own preferred services, but then Amazon probably rakes in a good bit of cash from Disney and Netflix by doing this. My final little mini gripe about the Fire TV Cube remote control is the fact that it's rather clicky. Rather, this D-pad up here is rather clicky, as you may have noticed in this video already. It is one noisy wee bugger. And up here at the very top of the Fire TV Cube's remote control, you will see the very bright blue, not very subtle at all, Amazon Alexa button. So all you need to do is press and hold that, and you will call up the Alexa voice assistant. So for instance, you can say, open Disney Plus.
Here's Disney Plus.
As you can see there, no cuts or anything there. That was literally a couple of seconds and Disney Plus is loading up. And that's great and all, but of course even the bog standard Fire TV sticks have the built-in Alexa assistant. The great thing about the Fire TV Cube is the fact that it's got a built-in far-field mic that can pick up your voice from anywhere in the room, even if things are really, really noisy. So all you need to do is say Alexa, and as you can see, you get that blue line both across the bottom of your TV and actually light it up there on the Fire TV Cube. So you know for sure that she's listening in. You also get that little bong sound as well, which is pretty handy because quite often Alexa will activate even when you didn't say anything remotely like Alexa, just like any bloody smart speaker really, to be honest. And don't worry about leaving the voice commands activated full-time 24 hours because it doesn't suck up much juice. There is a low power mode, so it only draws a tiny bit of power when it's not actually in use. But having those voice commands effectively renders the remote control redundant because you can just say Alexa, turn on TV.
Okay.
Load up Crunchyroll. Play the video. And of course you can also use Amazon's voice assistant in order to control your smart home goodies, to look up stuff on the internet, to resolve those awesome family arguments, anything you can do with a standard smart speaker. So for instance, Alexa, turn off studio lights.
Okay.
And off they go. So as you can see, if you currently don't have a smart speaker in whichever room you're going to be shoving the Fire TV Cube, then you're essentially getting two devices in one. And you can actually deactivate the Fire TV Cube's mic by poking this wee button up top. As you can see, the Fire TV Cube then glows red just to show that that mic has been disabled. Also, the button up top will glow red. But if you're going to disable that voice assistant, then you might as well just get yourself a bog standard Fire TV stick, because that is the main selling point of the Fire TV Cube. Now, just like that cheaper Fire TV Stick 4K, you can stream Ultra HD resolution content over your home Wi-Fi using the Fire TV Cube with full support for Dolby Vision and HDR10 Plus video, as long as your telly is up to it. And certainly I found that the picture quality was just as good as any of the most premium streaming devices out there. So certainly if you've got a 4K HDR TV, this will make the most of it. The Fire TV Cube also serves up Dolby Atmos 7.1 support, or up to 5.1 from external devices connected via HDMI for immersive surround sound. Again, as long as you've got a semi-decent home cinema setup already. I had my Fire TV Cube hooked up to my Wi-Fi network and I found that that streaming was absolutely fine, even over a mesh setup many miles away from my router. Absolutely flawless streaming, no issues with syncing or anything like that. And if you are running low on HDMI ports on your telly for whatever reason, well, good news, the Fire TV Cube has that HDMI pass-through support. I tried hooking up my PS5 to that HDMI input on the Fire TV Cube and played a good bit of God of War through it, and it worked absolutely fine. I didn't notice any lag in the responsiveness, although to be fair, my reflexes are old and knackered. But my games were locked at 60Hz anyway, so it's not really recommended for the latest generation of console gaming. And there you have it, my lovelies. That in a nutshell is the Fire TV Cube, fresh for 2023, and it's not exactly cheap, that's for sure, as far as these streaming devices go, the likes of Roku and the Fire TV Stick as well. Much more affordable and still offers that excellent picture quality, the audio support and all that good stuff. But if you also want something that'll double up as a smart speaker assistant for whatever room you're going to bung it in, then it definitely does the job. That's what I reckon. It'd be great to hear your thoughts on the Amazon Fire TV Cube 2023 down below. Please do poke, subscribe and ding that notifications bell for more on the latest and greatest tech, and have yourselves a really wonderful rest of the week. Cheers everyone, love you.